Okay, our next question asks us, how do we evaluate arctan of negative root 3? So let's scroll down. This is another trick question, and it's asking us to find the value of arctangent of negative root 3. So we know that the tangent of an angle is equals to a value. So the arctangent of a value is equals to an angle. And now I just need to find what this angle is. Now, we look at the number root 3, and thinking back to our special triangles, we know one of the triangles has one of its sides as root 3, so obviously we're going to obviously that angle exists in that special triangle, and we're going to try to see which specific angle it is by drawing the special triangle. So we know here it is 30 degrees, and here it is 60 degrees. So let's see. The root 3 side is over here, and we know the tangent function is equals to opposite over adjacent. As in the tangent of an angle, the value of the tangent of an angle is equals to the opposite side to the angle over the adjacent side to the angle. So in this case, which angle's opposite side over adjacent side has something to do with root 3? Obviously, it's the angle 30 degrees because the opposite side, it's actually the angle 60 degrees because the opposite side to 60 degrees is root 3, this is the opposite, and the adjacent side of 60 degrees is 1, this is the adjacent. So tan of the angle 60 degrees is equals to root 3. However, we're not looking at the arctangent of negative root 3. We're looking at, okay, let's just write down here. The arctangent of root 3 is equals to 60 degrees. But again, we're not looking at the arctangent of root 3. We're looking at the arctangent of negative root 3. So we need the help of another really handy tool, which is our unit circle red over here. We have our x's and we have our y's. So we know that the 60 degrees angle over here is root 3. So, and right here, both x and the y's are positive, so our root 3 is positive. But over here, on the fourth quadrant, in this section, the x is positive and the y is negative. So, for the angle negative 60 degrees, our root 3 would be negative. You might be thinking, what about this quadrant number 2? The angle would also be negative, or the value of the tangent function would also be negative for the angle over here. So how about for the angle 120 degrees? You are indeed correct. That angle would also work. However, you need to know that the value of arctangent is actually between, or I guess I'll just do it in radians mode. It's actually the angle of 90 degrees, or sorry, the value of arctan is actually between negative 90 degrees. I like to say pi over 2 or negative pi over 2, but it's fine. I'll do degrees over here. So the value of arctangent function is actually between negative 90 degrees to 90 degrees. Why? Because we need to define the arctangent function as the inverse of the tangent function. And the tangent function technically doesn't have an inverse because it doesn't pass the horizontal line test. So what we did is that we restricted the domain of the tangent function. So the domain of the tangent function is restricted to negative 90 degrees and 90 degrees. That way, the tangent function could actually have an inverse, which is our arctangent functions over here. So since the domain of the tangent function is restricted, the range of the arctangent function is also restricted to negative 90 degrees and 90 degrees. And that's why only the degree 60 works and 120 doesn't work, because 120 is larger than 90, and arctangent of a function which is outside of the range of the arctangent of a function, the arctangent function. Cool? So we have our answer over here. The arctangent of, or I'm sorry, I actually didn't write it. So the arctangent of the arctan of negative root 3 is our degree right over here, our negative 60 degrees. So the arctangent of negative root 3 is negative 60 degrees. And let's just put our answer in a box over here. Nice. So this is our solution for this problem. Now, let's look at the sample solution over here. Yes, they basically said the same thing, except they didn't use unit circle, but instead they used the identities where tan of negative of an angle is equal to negative tan of an angle. But in my opinion, this is a little bit confusing because there are a lot of functions for tan, secant, cosine, sine. There are like a lot of identities to remember, and if you mess it up for once, for remembering this sign wrong, then you're kind of like, you're in a little bit of trouble. So yeah, their solution is correct. They use negative pi over 3, which is this. They use negative pi over 3 radians, which is the same as negative 60 degrees. Okay, so let's just say the solution is correct. Good job.